Whoops, hold on a second. I forgot who I was. So, hi, I'm Cameron Bonzi. I'm the Vice President of Marketing with Costa Maine Brands, and I'm here with farmer Steph doing probably her favorite thing to do as far as gardening. And she's getting everything ready and digging up dahlia tubers, right?
Yes, I'm digging up dahlia tubers. And I was just telling Cameron that I have been getting so many texts every day this week from friends asking, now what do I do? How do I dig up the dahlia tubers? And how do I store them for winter? So let me show you every step that you're going to need to know. Okay. So
every step, that's what we need. All right, that's what I need. Take it slow. Okay.
So I'm in a little garden plot here. I'm not in a big like quarter-acre dahlia field. This is just a little circle dahlia plot. And tools you need. Use not a shovel, use a pitchfork. And you'll see I am not using the right tool here. I have like a hay pitchfork, which is not the right tool. A proper pitchfork has a place where you can like actually step on it. But the reason why we're using a pitchfork is because if you actually like puncture a dahlia tuber, it'll be okay. As long as you don't hit the eye of it, it'll actually be okay. And you're just less likely to hit something if you're using a pitchfork instead of a shovel. When we're digging with the pitchfork, we want to make sure we're going out from the stem, like at least 8 to 10 inches, I would say. So start 8 to 10 inches out from the main stem, and then start with your pitchfork. And that's just because the tubers tend to grow wide. And so we're trying to avoid hitting them. So let me show you. The other thing is, take your time with this and just see what you're doing for a second. So this is what I love about the value of dahlia tubers is you planted one in the spring or summer.
Yep.
And for the summer, now you get to dig it up and it's like actually digging for treasure. So let's see what we get.
There's nothing like digging for treasure. That's awesome. Farming treasure. Yeah.
So do you see what we have here?
Oh, yeah.
So I already went through when everything was in bloom and labeled everything. I know. Cameron, you know me. This is really good.
You're a great
I'm doing
labeler.
great. So I labeled everything so I knew exactly what variety it was, what color it was. And then now we're going to dig it up. But I just wanted you guys to see what we're working with. So that's why I said dig about 10 inches out from the main stem so you have plenty of space. Okay, so now once you do that though, look, I'm just gonna shake this up.
Wow.
Okay.
You made that look easy. You did a lot of pre-work in there.
I already went through this, the perimeter of this garden bed with my pitchfork and loosened the outside perimeter. And then because I wanted you to see the top, I just kind of used my hands to brush away the top. But you can see that one tuber turned into this nice cluster.
Wow.
So this is labeled and it's going to go in my bin here where everything else is also labeled. Now, what I'm going to do is I tell the farm kids, treat these dahlia tubers like eggs. You can go ahead and you can wash them on a high pressure wash, but not enough pressure where the skin is going to peel off of it like a potato. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you just want to make sure you're going to clean your tubers and then you can divide them, but in a cluster that's like about that size, 4 or 5 tubers, I would just cut the stem right off, put it in peat moss and overwinter it in my garage.
So just in your garage and you're in Maine, your garage is going to get cold, right?
Yes. And I put them in those big Tupperware containers.
Yep.
So if you go to like a box store and you get a big Tupperware container, you can layer that in with peat moss, dahlias, peat moss, dahlias, just like lasagna, layer it in.
Yep.
And put it in your garage. And as long as it doesn't reach freezing temps or like temps above 40 for like a handful of days, then you're good.
Because the temps above 40 will cause them to want to become active again?
They do start to sprout, and that's totally okay if they do. But the problem is that just increases the moisture. So once you get to the point where they start to pre-sprout because you're starting to hit warmer temps, heating up your garage, it's probably time to start thinking about getting them going in 5-gallon buckets if you do want to start them early, or just like moving them to your basement to get them a little bit cooler so that you don't have that moisture, that added moisture that happens with sprouting or
Okay.
germination.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Could you know, I was thinking that I would like to start tagging my shirts and pants so that they match. It's,
That's
you
such a
see,
good idea.
I think that's what I need. That's all I could think about while you were doing that.
Oh my gosh, Cameron. Okay, so do you see how easy that was
That
though? Like,
was easy. Yeah, that was great.
so the other thing is that sometimes you might pull up the dahlia tuber and the stalk breaks. That's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. But the best part about doing all this time of the season is getting the kids involved
Yeah.
because we're telling them to be so gentle in the garden. And this is a time where it's like, go crazy. Like after I go out with my pitchfork in my hands and get everything that I think I need out of the garden, they're the perfect little cleanup crew to send out there and just
Yep.
excavate all those little Easter eggs that I missed.
Yeah.
So, it's an awesome job for kids. You get preschoolers. I go out to Freeport Montessori, comes out to the garden and they pull tubers out of the garden with me. So, like, it's really for anybody to do. And it's just like, get your hands in there, get dirty. This is the last time we get to get our hands dirty until like spring.
Oh,
So,
that's true.
like get in there. And it is so rewarding because you already got these gorgeous flowers from it. And now you get all these like little treasures. How
Well,
fun.
and you're multiplying that investment. I mean, it's such a great
Exactly.
investment. You're just doing a little bit of work.
Yeah.
You're actually getting some exercise and getting excited. It's good
And
for you.
Cameron, you can see as I'm doing this, there are so many worms being activated in the soil right
Yep.
now. And then I'm just going to cover this with leaves when I'm done. Just
Yep.
literally rake the leaves on top of this and put it to bed for winter. And it's just a great way to turn over the soil. We're not tilling. We're just turning over the top layers of the soil and putting a nice winter leaf mulch on top. It's just a really great way to like get your soil just a little bit ahead for next season.
Yeah, make sure you use your leaves. We're obsessed with breaking up our leaves. They bring a lot of biology to the soil. They protect your garden, and it's free. It's just nature taking care of itself. It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
and it provides so much of a habitat for those little soil creatures that
Oh
we
yeah.
want to, the worms and the little bugs that are going to be in the top layers of the soil over winter. So it just really does help.
Did the tubers, when you take them out, they're in that big clump. Should you save all of them in that clump? Should
That's a
you?
great question. Okay, so here's what we'll do. See this clump here?
Yep.
All right, we can divide this. What you could do is, okay, for the minimalist, the person who
Yeah.
wants the least amount of work, what you
Yep.
want to do is take a brush, like a dust brush, hand brush, and just brush out the dirt of the tubers.
Yep.
Lay it in the sun or lay it in the garage
Yep.
for about a week for it to just
Totally dry
dry.
out. Yep.
And then what you want to do is just cover it. You can put it in a little brown paper bag in peat moss and put it on a shelf in your garage. And you don't have to divide it. For somebody who wants to share these, sell them, give them as gifts, give them out for Christmas presents, which is what I do. You can divide these. And so what we want to do to divide this is just know where dahlia tuber eyes are.
Yep.
So the eyes are
Yep.
going to come from, look where the tops are. So where the stem was connected to the crown,
Yep.
that's where the eyes are. If you get a nice, healthy, huge dahlia tuber, but it doesn't have an eye, it's totally pointless. It's not going to grow for you. So just throw it away. But these produce so much. So you're going to have some losses and it's totally okay. That's just, look how many you got from just one. Okay. So what we're going to do is any ones that are broken, we're going to discard. See how this one's just, it has a broken
Yep.
neck to it. That
Yep.
means it's not connected to the eye. So I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to cut that out. Let me just Let me see if
And
I can put you.
and so you're gonna cut that out and what are you doing with it once you cut it out?
Okay, so this one's going to be discarded because it's
Yep,
broken. I'm gonna throw that away.
yep,
One's broken, and I'm gonna throw this away. Now this one, it's less than the size of a ping pong ball, so I don't want it anyways. It's not going to grow a very big plant, so I'm gonna get rid of that too. So
talk
those
about,
are my,
yeah,
if it's
because,
a broken neck or if it's smaller than a ping pong ball. Okay.
because that was the thing. I mean, we've talked about that before in the natural selection and selecting the larger ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So here, it just takes a little minute to train your eyes, but that's an eye there.
Yep,
That's an eye there, there, there. So it's really good to see them this time of season too, because they were just done blooming and going dormant. Now, what I'm going to do is this is the mother tuber, and you can tell because it's the biggest and it just looks the oldest. I'm going to cut right through the middle of its crown. And I can do that because I can see it has an eye on each side of it. So I'm just going to cut right down the middle of it. And I'm going to go boop, right through the middle of this tuber. And things are just going to kind of naturally unravel if you let them. So here is a cluster of tubers and eyes.
yep,
Snip that. And see how I said I don't want anything smaller than a ping pong ball?
yep,
To keep this all together. Because if I snipped this would be about a ping pong size. So I'm gonna keep
sure.
this all together as a tuber. So that's one. And then I'm gonna take this one, this cluster here. And this cluster just wants to kind of come undone itself, I can tell. So I'm just gonna cut it. And this is gonna be a cluster and this is gonna be a tuber. So from that, I have these 3 tuber sets. Okay? And so these are going to be layered into peat moss and top and bottom, and then go in my grass.
And again, I'm gonna go home and start tagging my shirts and pants. We'll be all set. You're tagging tubers, tagging plants, I'm tagging my clothes, and we're all gonna be good, right? So this is awesome. We should say you weren't at your house today, that you've actually borrowed a garden today. So that was awesome. It looks beautiful, actually.
It's really nice. It's really nice here. And I've got just so many dahlia clusters to dig up. So I'm very busy today. But this is the time of year to do it. It's gorgeous out. And how lucky are we to be able to garden right now in Maine in this weather? Like, yes, I am here for it all
I
day.
am too. I am too. Well, you brighten my day. And so go back to doing your digging of tubers. Can't wait to see you next week. Say hi to the kids for me, okay?
Thank you. Bye,
Uh,
Cameron.
all right, Steph. See ya.